Today will be part 93 in the series Scriptures Often Ignored. And today is really going to be a quick video. This is going to be a video talking about the calendar for 2019 with the appointed times. Now, we've already done the Enoch video that covers more of the 2018 appointed times in the video. However, if you take a look at the Enoch calendar, what I've actually done in that video is I've linked the 2019 calendar, the one that you're looking at in the video, so that you're able to see it, and I'll link it in the description box also so that you'll be able to see it here too and have it on your fingertips if you already do not. Now, I've already linked it in the 2019 video that was uploaded about a week or so ago, but I wanted to do this one also, that way it's also a Scriptures Often Ignored. Now, in case you're new to this, if you're new to this network, what I recommend you do first and foremost is watch the Enoch calendar video that's linked in the description box so that you have a better understanding and a better idea of exactly what it's talking about. So then, assuming that you've already watched the video, well, here is the appointed times for 2019 and the date. So it gives the month number, which of course is 12 months, and we know that it goes 30, 30, 31 based on the seasons, the 4 seasons. And because days begin from sundown and go sundown to sundown, this is why you see it the way that it is. And we've already gone over in the video about why certain dates are the way that they are. And we'll be going over in a moment to come the actual appointed times. And I'll be looking and taking a look at a calendar also, so you'll be able to see it there too when it comes to the actual count. And if you would like to learn more about when a day begins, please do so in the description box below, where there is a video link that talks more about that. Now, here we are right here. Now, again, as this shows you, there are 12 months. And again, when does the year begin? It does not begin in so-called January 1st, or so-called when the world says it does, or according to the Gregorian, but it begins sometime in the spring, coinciding with the vernal equinox along with the spring season, giving us our marker point for the start of spring. Now, as you can see right here, this just gives you a list of when the months begin. And as you see, the month 1, or the month of Ab begins when? The evening of so-called Tuesday, March 19th, going all the way until the evening of so-called Wednesday, March 20th. That's day 1, the full day from sundown to sundown, and when it ends. And then month 2 starts as of April 18th, 2019, and it keeps going, as you see right here, with month 3 right here, month 4, month 5, month 6, and again we have the 30, 30, 31 system right there, as according to the Kanuk Enoch calendar, the ancient Enoch calendar. And then when we get to trumpets, which of course is the first day of the 7th month, well, it begins when? Sundown of September 17th, 2019 right here. And then, of course, the calendar keeps going until you get all the way until 2020 as it keeps going. And remember that too, that a Yahudim, or a Hebrew calendar, a Hebrew year, is going to be the equivalent of 2 Gregorian years. Now, if you go to the second page, this is where you will find the feast and Shabbats, the appointed times themselves, along with the weekly Shabbat, which is always going to be from so-called Friday evening to Saturday evening. That's when it's always going to be the 7th day of rest. So keeping that in mind, we're able to pinpoint the rest of our appointed times according to when they are. So right here we have feast of, or the appointed time, and we list the appointed times right here in this column. Now, in this column right here, we list the date according to the Yahudim, the Hebrew date right here. And again, you can learn more about this in Leviticus chapter 23. You can also take a look at our Kanuk Enoch video if you already have not. And then we also have right here when it begins and when it ends. Now remember, because days go from sundown to sundown in the Yahudim, or the Hebrew calendar, one day is going to be 2 Gregorian days. So it's very important to keep that in mind. So when it comes to Passover, Passover, it's when the 14th day of Abiyab, the 14th day of Abib, also known as the 14th day of the first month, is the memorial of Passover. It's always going to be the third day of the week, or from so-called Monday to Tuesday evening. And in 2019, the upcoming year, it will be from April 1st to April 2nd, so-called. And then you have matzah, unleavened bread, which is always the 15th through the 21st. It's a full 7 days, and it's always going to start on day 4 of the week. So from Tuesday to Wednesday, from evening to evening. So the upcoming year in 2019, it will be from April 2nd to April 3rd, going all the way until April 8th to April 9th. So it's 7 consecutive days. And then you have Bakarium, first fruits, that's on the 19th. It's always what? It's always the day after the weekly Shabbat. So it's going to be from Saturday to Sunday, so-called. So it's going to be this upcoming year from April 6th through April 7th, 2019. Now, another important thing to note about Bakarium, a very important thing to note about first fruits, is that it's always going to be during unleavened bread. I know that some ancient calendars, according to Qumran, I know they have it listed as a week later, but it's important for it to be during unleavened bread. Why? Because we know our Messiah, Yahusha, is what? When he resurrected on that Shabbat, which was the 18th, that what happened? He became the first fruit. So it's during this appointed time. And if you would like to learn more, please consult the videos linked in the description box below. And then you also have Shabua'uthar, or what's commonly known as Pentecost today. And you have that. It's always going to be on the first day of the week. So from so-called Saturday to Sunday from this upcoming year, July 13th through July 14th. And we have Shabua'uthar, or Pentecost, being on the 26th day of the 4th month. And by the way, this never changes. This is always going to stay the same. It's going to be the same Yahudim, or the same Hebrew date, no matter what. Now, I know I've gotten questions about this, about Pentecost specifically, so-called, as it's called, and we've done a video, and that video is linked in the description box, when it has to do with the timing of so-called Pentecost and when it really is, why we use this date, and why we do not use the traditional 50 days, why we use 7 Shabbats plus 50 days after the sheaf offering has been waved. Why do we do that? We've covered more in our video about that, about why there's 2 counts, and just like what, how it coincides with the season. So we have what, the 3 feasts according to the scriptures, which is what, matzah, unleavened bread. These are actual feasts now. And then Shabua'uthah, Pentecost, and this should be really appointed times, the 7 appointed times. And then you have Tabernacles, Sakuth. Those are your feasts, which are when? They are to be held 3 times a year, when the males are to appear before Yahuwah 3 times a year according to scripture. So when are they? Well, they are when? They coincide in the spring, in the summer, and in the fall. And then in the winter time is what? The time of sowing, the season of sowing the seeds for the first harvest that will take place in the spring of the following year. And like I said, I've done more covering that in the Shabua'uthah and the Pentecost video. But for more confirmation, you can also take a look at Proverbs Chapter 10 verses 5 that says, "He who gathers in the summer is a discerned son. He who sleeps during harvest is a son that causes shame." So notice how it talks about what? Harvest, and in the summer harvest festival. That is what that is alluding to and referring to. And notice how it's in the book of Proverbs. And then also Yaramyahu, Jeremiah chapter 8 verse 20, as another witness, which says that the harvest is past, the summer is ended, and we have not been saved. Notice how it says in that passage, the harvest and the summer, once again coinciding, harvest, summer together. Well, the harvest festival is known as what? Shabua'uthah, so-called Pentecost is what that's known. So again, 2 witnesses to let us know that what? Shabua'uthah, or the harvest festival, is is when? In the summertime. So within the 4th, 5th, or 6th months. And if you do the count according to the way the scripture says, with the 7 Shabbats plus the 50 days, according to Leviticus chapter 23, you arrive towards the end of the 4th month, or in the summertime. So then going to the fall appointed times, we have Tharuah, or also known as the Feast of Trumpets, which is the first day of the 7th month. And this upcoming year will be from so-called September 17th through September 18th of 2019. It's always going to be on the 4th day of the week. Then you have Yom Kippurim, Day of Atonement, which is on the 10th day of the 7th month, which is from so-called September 26th through September 27th, 2019 for next year. And this is always on the 6th day of the week, and it will always be before the weekly Shabbat. And the weekly Shabbat is when? From Friday at sundown to Saturday at sundown, as it's commonly known. And then you have Sakuth, which is the Feast of Tabernacles. You have day 1 beginning, which always begins on the 4th day of the week, or the 15th day of the 7th month, which is what? From so-called October 1st through October 2nd of 2019, from Tuesday to Wednesday. And then the last great day, which is the end of Tabernacles, which is day 8, which is the 22nd day of the 7th month. You have that from Tuesday, October 8th, 2019 through Wednesday, October 9th, 2019, which runs for 8 consecutive days. So it's an 8-day festival going from October 1st through October 9th, along with matzah, unleavened bread, running for 7 consecutive days, going from April 2nd through April 9th, 2019. You're to sound the shofar at the beginning of each month. So whenever the month begins, that is when you are to sound the shupar, or the shofar. Now, this is the current calendar for this year specifically. If you look at the calendar for this year, you will see that based on the seasons that we're nearing what? We are nearing the winter season. So that means that we're getting what? Close to the 10th, 11th, and 12th months, that we're coming to an end of the fall season. And according to this year specifically, the fall season will end as of December 18th, 2018. So this upcoming so-called Tuesday. And then the 10th month will commence as of December 18th, 2018, that Tuesday evening, continuing on with the last 3 months of this current year before we get into 2019, the first day of 2019. And also, when it says sound the shofar at the beginning of each month, this can also include voices and praises if you do not have a shofar, so do not worry about that. But then we also have this page here that gives more about the appointed time, when it is, and what it represents, what it's all about, and along with scriptural verses to go with each one of them. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to link in the description box the appointed times that we've talked about and covered on this channel, so that you have it for your records in the description box. And also, please pardon this right here. This should say 2019 through 2020 up here, because it's talking about the appointed times for when? For 2019, for next year. And you can see them all right here. That is listed right here. Now, like I said, all of that will be linked in the description box below to be able to help you out more with this, and prayerfully this video is also helping. But now what we're going to do is try to take a look at the count ourselves. Now, I know I've talked about this before, and I'm still looking into actually doing an actual calendar that will be available either on the website. I know I said that last year, but please continue to bear with me on that. But the reason I'm here is because I just wanted to show you the count, and also remember what we talked about in our 2019 video with the importance of March 20th and how what happens on the first day of Abiyah, because Abib begins when? The evening of March 19th through the evening of March 20th. So that full day from sundown to sundown is what? Day 1 of our calendar. We know that day 1, the first day of the year, always begins on the 4th day of the week. So here, right here, that gives us our marker, and that gives us our marking point to begin day 1 of the year. So if we keep going with our count, so this is day 1, day 2, day 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the 11th day of the first month, and then the 12th. And then if we go to so-called April of 2019, we get what? If we continue our count, we have so-called March 31st being the 12th, and then April 1st during the day being the 13th. And then if we go the evening, because again, it begins in the evening, so the evening of April 1st, that so-called Monday, to the evening of April 2nd, which is always what? The third day of the week, 1, 2, 3. This gives us what? 14, the 14th day of Abyab or Passover. And then the 15th, which begins that evening of April 2nd through the evening of April 3rd, so-called the fourth day of the week, that begins what? The 15th of Abyab, or the 15th day of the first month, which is the start of unleavened bread. And then if we continue our count, so we have the 15th right here, then the 16th, 17th, 18th, which is also known as the Resurrection Shabbat, the 18th, and then the 19th, 20th, 21st. So this day is the closing day of unleavened bread, and this is first fruits right here on the 19th. So this gives you an idea of the spring appointed times. And like I said, if you continue your count with the 30, 30, 31, you will continue all throughout the year, and you will see that the dates match when it comes to what we just talked about and went over for 2019 for the spring appointed times, along with Shabuwa'utha, commonly known as Pentecost, the summer harvest festival, and then the fall appointed times also. But like I said, I will link everything in the description box below. Prayerfully, this video has been helpful unto you when it comes to the understanding. Also, if you would like to learn more on this topic, please take a look at the other videos that are linked in the description box below so that you get a better idea and understanding of everything and why we use the dates that we use in order to learn more about the calendar and more about the restored appointed times. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or even recommendations on the scriptures, and if you would like more understanding, or if you just have any questions for me, please feel free to email me at truthunveiled77@gmail.com. Again, my email is just truthunveiled77, 2 7s, not 3, at gmail.com. Also, if you have any questions regarding scriptures, and if you would like a recommendation of what scriptures that I use and the scriptures that I recommend, also email me at truthunveiled77@gmail.com, and make sure to put scriptures in the title of the email. If you have any questions about anything else, please be sure to email me. Prayerfully, this lesson was very helpful unto you. This is Truth Unveiled here, saying shalom.